Good morning, preschool. So I thought today we would continue reading more about worms. And then later we're going to go outside and see if we can try to find some. All right, let's see if we can find out some more cool facts about worms. Hiding underground. Let's see a creature it's good to have around. The best way to find one is to dig in the ground. Oh, that's right, because that's where worms live. They live under the ground in the dirt, right? It's long, thin, and slimy. What is it, do you think? That's right, it's a worm, and most of them are pink. Whoa, look at all those different kinds of worms. There's skinny ones, fat ones, long ones, short ones, brown and pink. There's tons of them. Worms don't have eyes or fingers or many other parts, but inside a worm's body it has 5 beating hearts. 5 beating hearts, that's a lot. How many hearts do we have? We only have 1, so 5, that's crazy. A worm does have a mouth, but it's difficult to see. This worm's opened its mouth to eat a leaf from a tree. Oh, look. So if you look closely, you can see where it's eating the leaf. So that means that right there must be its mouth. That's pretty small. Worm breath. Worms don't breathe through a mouth or even through a nose. Worms breathe through their skin. That's where the air goes. Oh wow, I didn't know that either. So we have a nose and a mouth we can breathe from. Worms don't have noses or mouth. Well, they have a mouth, but they don't breathe through it. So they breathe through their skin. Wow. Wish I could do that. That'd be pretty cool. To keep on breathing, worms need to stay wet. So a worm is a good choice if you want a slimy pet. Oh, so remember, that's why when we see worms, we don't leave them out in the sun, because that gives them boo-boos. And if they get dried out, if they don't stay wet, they can't breathe, and then they might die, and that would be sad. So it's very important that they stay wet. Hairy movers. Look at a worm's body closely and small hairs can be found. These help the worm to move as it wriggles all around. Oh wow, we learned about this yesterday. Look at all those tiny little hairs. Wow. Baby worms. Any 2 worms can make babies, and that's really quite nice. Babies hatch out of cocoons, which look like small grains of rice. Oh, wow. So these eggs look a little bit different from yesterday, but these are worm eggs. And can you see it? Maybe a couple of them trying to peek out? They must be super small if they look like tiny grains of rice. Squishy brown piles. If you see a brown pile, do you know what you have found? It comes out of a worm's bottom, but it's good for the ground. I wonder what it is. What do you think it is? Have you ever seen this in the dirt before? Piles that look like this? I have. I think it's worm poop. But if you remember from yesterday's book, worm poop helps gardens and plants. So it's a good thing. Spot the worm. Somewhere on this page, there's a small worm to be found. Look at all the hiding spots. Check in front and behind. All right, let's see if we can find it. Let's look on this page first. So it looks like we got a fly, a dragonfly, a grasshopper, ooh, a spider. There's no worms over here. It's not hiding behind the rock. Let's see over here. Maybe nothing in the tree. This is another spider. What is that? You know what that is? We learned about these last summer, but is that a worm? Ooh, I think I see it. It's hiding. There it is. It's a worm. Did you know a worm's slime is very good for the soil and helps plants to grow? I did not know that. All right. So this was our book. Now, I've taken a piece of paper, and we've done this at school too, where at circle time sometimes we make a chart of things that we know about what we're learning about and some things we learned or want to know about. So, one thing I already knew about worms was they're slimy. They're slimy and they live in the ground. And they're pink and brown. So those are 3 things that I knew about worms already. They're slimy, live in the ground, and they're pink and brown. Now, some things that I learned from the 2 books that we've read the past couple of days is they have hairs. They eat tiny rocks. One cool thing I learned about today was do you remember how many hearts a worm has? We have 1. Do you remember how many a worm has? 5 hearts. That is pretty cool. 5 hearts. And they breathe through their skin. I did not know that either. So, I want you to take some time to think about the stuff that you've learned about worms from yesterday's book and today's book, and Mommy and Daddy can help you write down some things, but I'd like you to brainstorm some stuff and put it on a chart like this. So this is what mine looks like, right? Remember, knowing what we know about worms and then what we learned about worms. And then, if you would like, you could add another column in your chart and you can write some things maybe that you want to learn about, and maybe we could read more about worms and see if we can find more answers. So that is our book today, and I hope you have a great day.